A big hello and warm welcome back to all to Pascale's Storytime. I hope you're doing very well. I have a fun book to share with you today. Stanley's Beauty Contest, written by Linda Bailey with truly fun illustrations by Bill Slavin. This reading goes out to Ursa. Stanley's Beauty Contest. Stanley knew he wasn't supposed to jump out of the tub. He was supposed to sit. He was supposed to stay. He was supposed to be a good dog Stanley while his people gave him a bath. But the water was too warm, and he didn't like the gusher thing, and he hated the banana shampoo. So he stood it as long as he could. Then he leaped out and did the only thing a soggy dog can do. He shook all over the walls and mirrors, all over the toothbrushes, and especially all over his people. Then he dove under the bed. His people had to drag him out. "Arrrrrrr!" howled Stanley as they blow-dried his fur. "Rrrrrrr!" he howled again as they trimmed his claws and gave him a sparkly new collar. But it wasn't till they put him in the car that he really lost his patience. "Roof! Roof! Roof!" barked Stanley, trying to run back inside. They'd forgotten his breakfast. They never forgot his breakfast. How could this happen? He wondered as he sat fluffy and grumpy and hungry in the back seat. They drove straight to the park. It was jammed with people and dogs. Some of Stanley's friends were there, Alice and Nutsy and Gassy Jack. "Hey, Alice," said Stanley in dog talk. "You smell like a raspberry. What's going on?" "Dog contests," said Alice. "They give a prize to the most beautiful dog." Nutsy looked puzzled. "How can they tell?" "Search me," said Alice. "I think we all look the same." "Yep," agreed Gassy Jack, "but we smell really weird." Stanley sniffed his buddies. Gassy Jack smelled like a big sweet pea. Nutsy reeked of peppermint. "What's wrong with smelling like a dog?" asked Gassy Jack. Suddenly, the air filled with a new smell. So rich, so achingly wonderful, every dog in the park stopped to sniff. Bubbling cheese, sizzling bacon, hot apple pie. The smells dogs dream of in their wildest dreams. Stanley gasped. "What's that?" "The prizes," said Alice. "The winners get those." The dogs stared in wonder as 3 giant cookies went by, still warm from the oven. Stanley's stomach tightened. "I could really use a cookie," he said. "I didn't get my breakfast." "That's terrible," said his friends, but they didn't take their eyes off the cookies. Everyone lined up for the first contest. Fastest dog. "Hey," thought Stanley, "no problem. He could run really fast to get one of those cookies. He could run like the wind." Except he didn't. He tried his best, but he was just getting started when a white blur raced past. A whippet. By the time Stanley reached the finish line, she was already eating the prize. "Arr!" moaned Stanley. "Never mind," said Alice. "Maybe you'll win best tricks. Stanley perked up. He knew lots of tricks. Shake a paw, roll over, play dead. He could do them perfectly. The problem was the other dogs knew the same tricks. Stanley couldn't believe it. They were doing his tricks. Maybe he could do them faster. Stanley started doing all his tricks at once, really fast. Shake, roll, dead. Shake, roll, dead. Shake, roll, dead. He even threw in some whining. But there was no prize for whining. "Arr!" moaned Stanley again. "It wasn't fair. He was the hungriest." "There's still one prize left," said Alice. "Most beautiful dog." This was it, thought Stanley, his last chance. Somehow he would have to be beautiful. Stanley wasn't exactly sure what beautiful was, but he knew he had to try. He puffed out his fur, he bared his teeth in a doggy grin. He tried really hard to make his legs straighter and his nose smaller. But the judges walked right past. "Roo!" howled Stanley as his people took him out of the line. "Roo!" He was so disappointed. It took him a whole minute to notice where he was standing. Beside the prize table. And there it was, right there, the very last cookie. Stanley glanced around. Everyone was watching the beautiful dogs. Nobody was looking at him. Slowly, he put a paw on the table, then another. He wasn't going to take the cookie. He was only going to lick it a little. Maybe nibble the edges, just to make it even. He rose up high on his tippy paws, and he reached. Tilt went the table, crash went the tray, down went the cookie. 37 dogs dived on top. It was hard to tell who ate the cookie because in 2.5 seconds it was gone. Stanley thought he got a bite, but he wasn't sure. There was something he was sure about, though. For the first time all day, he was having fun. All the dogs were having fun. What could be more fun than a big pile of dogs? It was the best dog pile ever. And it lasted for ages, a great rumble-tumble of rolling and wrestling, till the people said that was enough fun. It was time for the dogs to go home. Nobody was fluffy anymore. Nobody smelled pretty, but every tail was wagging as the dogs left the park. Stanley's people gave him a scolding in the car. They said he was a bad dog, Stanley. But when they saw that they'd forgotten his breakfast, they were very sorry. Stanley knew because they gave him his breakfast and his dinner all at once. They scratched behind his ears, too. As for the other dogs, well, they talked about that contest for days. They wondered how it would be if dogs ruled the world and had contests for the people. Who'd win the prize for best smelling? Who'd be most lickable? In the end, they didn't really care. All the dogs loved their own people the best. And after they figured that out, all they wanted to do was sniff the breeze and roll in the fresh, mowed grass. Because that's just how dogs are. They may not know everything their people know, but they sure know what's important. Stanley's Beauty Contest. Hoping everyone has a wonderful, fun, and happy day. Sweet dreams always. Until next time. Bye for now.